In my journal, I'm Stephanie Rivers. Come on into the conversation. Hope you're having or you've had a good weekend. I had a very unexpected weekend. I want to tell you about it. So come on into the conversation. You might be watching me on YouTube Live or Facebook Live or Twitter or LinkedIn. So many platforms. So we want to welcome you to the conversation. If you are not a subscriber, please like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. If I sound kind of subdued, because I went to the emergency room this weekend and I just want to share my experience with you. I'm going to turn down my music. So, I had planned to go camping this weekend. I haven't been camping since Girl Scouts. um 45 years ago, okay? On my honor, I will try to serve God, my country, and mankind, and to live by the Girl Scout law, okay? So it's been a long time. And even then, when we went camping, we really didn't stay out there, I don't think. I think, our troop leader just took us out. She helped us work with a compass so we can know our directions and how to start a fire. We didn't start the fire. But she showed us how we could. And before nightfall, we was back in the room, back at the church, because we had our church, our meetings, our Girl Scout troop meetings at a church. So the woods were behind the church. So yeah, haven't been camping in a long time. So I was looking so forward to it. Had taken the whole weekend off to go camping with my Our Tribe group. And these are people who I feel comfortable with. If anything went down, whether we are in the woods or we in the city, I feel comfortable with these people. So I was like, let me take my portable generator, let me take my solar panel battery charger, let me take my little newfangled flashlights, let me take all my little gadgets that I've acquired and practice using them the way that we have been taught to use them. So I was looking so forward to it. And we were supposed to leave on Friday, day before yesterday. So Monday of last week, I start getting stomach aches and stuff. And I'm the type of person who I don't really let things get me down, especially if it's physical and it's something that I'm not bleeding, I'll push through. So I even went to my trainer and I didn't feel like going, but I went on anyway. And afterwards I felt okay. But as the week progressed, I was like, something is not right. I couldn't go 30 minutes without having stomach like cramp pains, stomach contraction, like I was having a baby. Okay. I'm not pregnant, so I shouldn't be having contractions. I'm not on my period. I shouldn't be having cramps. I just could not figure this out. So I was like, it must be something, but still, I'm trying to figure it out because I'm just one of those people. I'm like, I'm not going to no doctor. So anyway, I started I wasn't feeling hungry. And therefore, I was like, I'm not going to force myself to eat. So by Tuesday, Wednesday, all I was eating was soup and apples because I just happened to have some apples. So I was like, this is my way of eating. I'm going to eat my apples. I'm going to eat this soup, and that's going to keep me with some nourishment. And that will help me to also flush my colon because maybe something is going on in my colon. I'm just trying to figure this out like by myself. So around Wednesday, Thursday, I'm like, I had to call off sick at work because I couldn't be there and do what I needed to do. But I'm like, okay, I just need to quit trying to do other things. I just need to focus on getting better and getting rid of the pain. And then I can be ready for this camping trip because we're going to have a good time. And I'm sure they did. I'm sure they had a good time. They should be back by now because it's getting nightfall now. Anyway, so around Thursday, I was like, okay, I think I can do this. Friday, I was unable to go to my schedule. I have a physical trainer that I try to stick to. And that's what I'm saying. I eat right, I exercise, I get, I don't do drugs, don't do alcohol. I'm like, what is it? What is it? Who have I exposed myself to to turn me on to some junk in my system? So I was a little upset and I'm trying to figure all that out. But by Friday, when it was time to leave for the camping trip, which is 2 hours away at this place called Atlanta, Texas. If you didn't know, and I didn't know, there is an Atlanta, Texas, and there's an Atlanta State Park. And I was looking forward to going there and had got my all my little stuff printed off because they were like, you're gonna need your stuff printed off so you can know the directions and your phone might go out. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And so when it was time to go, I could not get it together. So I was like, Steffanie, what are you going to do? Because the last thing I want to do is be in the woods, sick, and I have to find a hospital. I'm not doing that. So I don't want, even though I trust the people I was going to be with, I didn't want to dampen their fun, take their attention away from what we were supposed to be doing, taking care of Steffanie. And then Steffanie back at the camp and everybody else having fun. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Either I'm going to go with fun or I'm not going at all. So I said, let me just go to the urgent care place around the corner because I live in an area where, and I said, she's gonna say good neighborhood, and I say good neighborhood because it has everything that one would want: all the restaurants, all the hospitals, car dealerships, get your car fixed, grocery stores. It's a pedestrian area, so I like it. So that's why I call it a good neighborhood. But I was like, let me just go around here to this urgent care place that's called emergency room because I have a friend that lives in the building and emergency room is downstairs. I said, let me go over here and let them tell me what's wrong, give me some pills, and I can wait a few hours and then I'll be fine. And then I can be on my way. I might be late, but I'm going to be on my way to the camping trip. So I get in there and the doctor tells me your white blood cell count is double digits. It's like 21. Now, I don't know. I know what white blood cell is. I know what that is. That's to fight off germs and bacteria and things in your body. So she was like, the doctor said, it's so high that we are not going to let you go. We're going to keep you overnight. I haven't spent the night in a hospital since I was born, okay? And I'm 55 now. So I'm like, what now? Well, like, is this that serious? Like, what's going on? So they were like, yeah, so they didn't even ask me, I need to call nobody. They were like, so this is your room. And this is where you're gonna be. And then we're gonna, because they had already taken my blood. So I got these little purple things because that's how they tied you up. So they started out with right here. Tying it up. I'm gonna tie it because I'm gonna tell you how many times they poked me. So they started out right there. Yeah, it'll stay. So they put that little insertion into your vein so they can draw blood and put in antibiotics and some drugs that I just don't like taking drugs. This is another reason why I don't like going to the hospital. And that's why I didn't go to the hospital. I said, just let me run up the street around the corner and get these pills. But it turns out that, and I'm glad they were emergency room meant they were prepared. It was like an off hospital site emergency room. And I was getting their full attention other than a few people I heard coming through on a Friday night dealing with Friday night stuff. Most people go to the hospital. I didn't want to do that. So anyway, they opened up my vein and was red, took all the blood, put me in a CT, CAT scan, all of that. And then, that was around, I went over there around 11. And then this was around They took all the blood and everything, and then told me I had to stay overnight um, by 4 or 5. Anyway, so now it's 4 or 5 o'clock, and they were like, we want to, get you something to eat. And I'm like, these people serious. They really talking about having dinner together. So anyway, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm so glad that I took a hat because normally, because I'm bald, and I normally have a hat, especially in a room as airy as a hospital type setup, because my head would be cold, and that would keep me from being as comfortable as I could be. So anyway, if you haven't already, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. I'm talking about my trip to the emergency room. And if you want to call in and tell me about your trip, your unexpected trip to the emergency room, I'm putting the chat down here, putting the link in the chat for you. There it is. So yeah, so I'm getting there. They took the blood, they gave me the drugs intravenously because that will happen faster instead of them giving me pills. So it was turning out that it was better that I went in and did all this. I had no idea that my white blood cell count was at 21 and that it was supposed to be, she said, around 10. And they were like, oh yeah, something is going on, and we we don't feel comfortable letting you leave. And so I'm like, okay. So anyway, the night passed. She was like, in the morning we're gonna redo the test and you should be able to go. So this would be Saturday morning. So anyway, they start throughout the night coming in there, make sure I'm okay, and I appreciate that. And then at some point, this vein collapsed because my veins are not used to being open all that and doing all that. Okay. So then they came over to this other arm, and then opened that one up. So now I'm walking around like this. Let me see if it's going to take. Oh, no, let me use another one because they did a lot now. No, this might be the only one that will work. So they opened up that blood vessel, and then that blood vessel, they worked on that, taking extra stuff. So at this time, I'm like, okay, what time of morning were they talking about they were going to let me go? Because it is now. And then here's another thing, because I thought I was only going to be gone a few hours from home, I didn't bring my phone charger. So now I am at this place overnight with no phone charger. And the phone charger that I had in my car, it quit working a long time ago. So I never replaced it because I never drive my Mustang that far. But anyway, I'm trying to put this thing on to just show you how crazy I was looking. Anyway, so it's around 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, your white blood cell count is still too high, and we just still don't feel comfortable letting you go. And now I'm like, look, I'm saying to myself, okay, am I staying here voluntarily or involuntarily? Because so I started asking more questions like, how low does it have to be? And then that's when I realized they said, well, it's supposed to be around 10, but it's still around, it started out around 20, 21. It's down to around 19, 18. So it is going down, but we still needed to be going down some more. And I'm like, well, like, what time are we talking about? So they were like, we're going to do it one more around 3 o'clock. We're going to do it again. I'm like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. So I realized they had to give increments of time in between when they gave me some pills and all of that. So I'm just hanging out at this place, watching TV, periodically turning my phone on so I could text people. And that reminds me, I had texted my mother the night before to say, hello, mother, I'm at the emergency room and they're keeping me overnight. And that's like a shock to her, I'm sure, because again, last time I was overnight at the hospital was when I was born with her. So she doesn't read her text, okay? Because when I reached out and called her the next morning to let her know I was still at the hospital, she didn't even answer the phone. Bless her heart. She, some people, they just are not connected to the phones like we're connected to the phones. Hey, Ravonda. I am okay. I'm getting much better, and thanks for asking. Um, and so it's just they gave me when I left. I'll jump to that right fast. When I left, they left me with a prescription that I could go to the pharmacy and get some pills. But again, if you were at the hospital, doing it intravenously is faster, and that'll help you faster. So I was like, okay, Steph, you just gonna have to give up on this camping trip because you ain't going. Okay. Got the whole weekend off and I can't even go camping. So they got me over here. It's collapsed. They got me over here. At some point, that one collapsed. And then the guy came back. Oh, well, it was a woman at this point. She wanted to put one in my arm right there, and they did. Oh, thank you so much for praying for me. Amen. Amen. So then they had this one over here, and then somebody else came in talking about he needs some more blood. I'm like, y'all need to split up these tubes because I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm out of. And I thought about, can I give them some out of my back of my leg or something? I'm like, because I'm trying to help them help me so I can get out of it. But it wasn't working out like that. And then there's another vein. I've always seen that vein myself. Looks real good if you need some blood. Anyway, here I am all up in the hospital getting stuck on and stuff. And before it was around 4 o'clock, so a good 25 hours at the emergency room before they allowed me to leave. And um and yeah, that's what happened. And I know the question on everybody's mind, other than "Are you okay?" is how much is all this costing? Because I was thinking that same thing. I'm like, look, I just came in here for some pills, and I did bring my insurance card, but I wasn't expecting, and all that they did, I know is gonna be thousands of dollars. And you can't put a price on your health, and that's why I try to stay as healthy as I can, so I don't have to depend on emergency room visits to get the treatment, when I could have just prevented it. But I still don't know what I could have done to prevent this, and so they referred me to a gastrointestinal specialist, because after all that, they put a name on it, and my little folder is over there, so I can't give you the name of it, but they put a name on it as to what I have or what they said I had. But they said they want me to take the medication that's going to help me to not have the pain. And then they want me to follow up with the gastrointestinal specialist. So now I got to wait till Monday to do that. And that's another trip to the doctor and all of that. And I know that's why you have insurance, and I know that, but I just hate using it because I just don't like being up in there and doing all that. But anyway, sometimes you got to. So as much as I have tried to keep myself healthy and safe and all of that, here I was at at the emergency room when I was supposed to be camping. And I really hate, when you look at doing events and trying to get people together, and you're like, okay, we got 20 spots, and all 20 spots are claimed. And then at the last minute, people start falling out like flies. You like, damn, can people just follow through with what they're supposed to do? Because that is what I try to do, follow through. Oh, Melody Jeter Humphrey, sending healing your way. Amen, sis. I thank you so much. So yes, just pray for me. And I I feel better. I feel much better today. I was able to get outside and get some sun and get some activity. And I'm about to go in here and fix me something to eat because I ate an apple earlier. Like I said, I'm trying to get rid of these apples. And I know maybe I need to start eating earlier, but since I haven't been eating at all, I think eating now is okay. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. And just the slightest little thing. It's like I read something that Ricky Smiley, the radio show host, said. He said when you're a child, getting hurt means you fell off a bike, or that means you fell out of a tree. But when you're older, getting hurt means you sat down wrong. Getting hurt means you tweaked your ankle while you was walking or something. It's just always something that you don't think is going to make a difference. It makes a difference. So that's that. So thanks again, guys, for looking and listening. And if this can help you in any way, please take that. And to find out more about the things that I care about, you can go to the written version of my journal. It's at eurweb.com. Thank you and have a great week ahead.